Hello, I'm Ellen Kuhlman, President and CEO of Carbon. Thank you for joining us today to hear about an exciting unveiling, the next generation of Carbon DLS. Since Carbon's inception, we've taken pride in pioneering technology that brings additive manufacturing to the masses. On our journey, we've collaborated with leading-edge companies using 3D printing to deliver better products. By making the product development process faster, more flexible, and more responsive, and by giving the products themselves better performance characteristics. The next generation of Carbon DLS is not about one new product. This is about enhancing the product development lifecycle from idea to production on one platform. A platform that gives creators the software, hardware, materials, and expertise needed to bring better products to market in less time. In today's announcement, you'll hear from Carbon experts on how these strategic components work together to streamline the product development lifecycle. Also, Carbon customers who get an early look and have hands-on experience with the latest generation of Carbon DLS will share their impressions. We'll have a breakout panel discussions that will allow you to interact with Carbon executives and deep dive with our technical experts on the new technology we will unveil today. We appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to learn more about Carbon's role in the advancements of product development. And I encourage you to stay through the full main stage presentation. Even after our announcement, there may be an additional surprise that you won't want to miss. With that, I'll pass it over to Phil DeSimone, a Carbon co-founder and our Chief Product Officer.
Hi, everyone. As Ellen mentioned, we are glad you've joined us for this event. We have an exciting day planned for you all. Carbon continues to innovate while advancing its technology forward, helping customers bring better products to market faster using additive manufacturing. We exist to empower people everywhere to make what the world needs right now. Carbon's technology is rated highest amongst dental labs in customer satisfaction with the best NPS score in the industry. Innovative consumer lattice products continue to prove their high performance capabilities time and time again. Adidas, Visus, Specialized, CCM, Rawlings, and Osprey are just some of the great brands leveraging Carbon DLS to make game-changing products. Parts made on Carbon DLS platform have been rigorously tested and process validated for use in automotive, achieving PPAP certification. And there's so much more. Carbon never sleeps. We constantly evaluate how we can be better, how we can give our customers the very best tools, service, and expertise to help them solve real-world challenges while bringing better products to market. Software is at the heart of the DLS process. From powerful design tools like Carbon Design Engine for producing professional conformal lattices all the way through to scale production with Carbon Print OS. A true digital thread with built-in automated quality assurance. Great materials are essential to making great products. And Carbon's in-house material science team is developing a portfolio of best-in-class materials. In 2021 alone, we released support for 4 new materials. Carbon EPU41 Black, Keystone Industries Key Splint Hard, Lucitone Digital Value, 3D Economy Tooth and Trial Placement Resin, and EPU44. These resins go through hundreds of hours of internal validation before you ever print with them. This means customers can expect highly consistent results and excellent support from Carbon's technical partners. And we're rounding out our materials portfolio with a new groundbreaking material, EPX86FR, launching next month, with flame retardants that's well suited for automotive, aerospace, and industrial applications. The Carbon ecosystem continues to grow with new channel partners in Germany, France, Italy, and the UK, with technical partnerships expanding as well in hardware, software, and material science. But you all didn't join us today just to hear us talk about how great we are. As I mentioned earlier, and something that you probably know about Carbon is that we're always pushing the envelope with a real focus on solving the challenges that our customers face when developing new products and making new parts. So today, we're very excited to show you something totally new. Introducing the next generation of digital light synthesis technology with the all-new M3 printer from Carbon. We've been working hard over the last 2 years, meeting with customers to understand their needs, then designing and building this new machine. The next generation of DLS is smarter, smoother, faster, and simpler. Here's the engineering team that built this beauty to tell you more about it.
Maybe this isn't all for the cut, but when COVID happened, it felt like things were kind of dire on multiple fronts. It's hard to remember the massive amount of uncertainty that was there at that time. And so for me, the term sunrise came around because, I don't know, just in a sort of very cheesy way, it's a new dawn. Sunrise was super well fitting. Having that name repeated over and over again, just constantly putting little deposits into this piggy bank of optimism and vision.
Yeah, so there were a number of things. The thing about 3D printers is that they are not simple. There are many facets of what makes a good machine. So it's easy just to say it's better at printing and then leave it at that.
When we're designing a new printer, or really any device at Carbon, we start by talking to the users.
User research, customer feedback is always super important. We want to know that we're solving the right problems.
I think that the M3 is a simpler printing experience because of all of the new features combined.
It's really the whole entire suite of things coming together to improve the printed parts that come out of the M3.
Bringing them all together really helps the user and the process.
We're using a technology called force feedback to make the printing process smarter, so the print is adapting to the forces that are being sensed during the print.
We have a whole new window architecture.
It does a few critical things such as distributing heat more evenly.
During the curing process, some resins generate heat. The M3 is able to dissipate that heat, so we're able to control our temperature and we're able to speed up those prints.
And that also gives us a lot more potential in a future roadmap for doing more with our materials that we couldn't do.
Another key benefit of the new window architecture is that it enables much more noticeably consistent surface finish.
We were able to improve our accuracy, consistency across the build and provide better surface finish.
I think the best way to put it is M3, it's really the essence of our previous learnings. Not only what we've learned in the past few years from other printers, but also from our customer feedback.
We care about how it feels to work with a Carbon machine.
Right off the bat, you'll notice a lot of physical changes to the printer. It's not just an iteration.
We've seen how people use our technology. It runs the gamut, and it's all on the same platform.
We have new ways of interacting with the machine with a new touchscreen. You don't have to be juggling a laptop as much.
We've also added an LED status bar to the top of the printer, and that really allows at a glance, far away identification and notification.
Software comes into play an even bigger way than it has in our past printers.
So for example, we have force feedback that our firmware reads and reacts to quickly. And we also have specific firmware and boards that control our cassette and maintain the heat distribution.
and thereby opening up that world of new orientations, new geometries.
The more we can allow for all types of geometries, the more useful the printers are.
I think with all the work that was done on the M3, we really wanted to make the customer experience with this printer as simple as possible.
All that we know based on our experiences with making true production parts, the volumes are massive, and that's taught us a lot about what it means to make a machine that can develop over time. Like when M2 started, it's our current kind of platform baseline, and obviously we've grown it and developed it. And this is another step up baseline, really fulfilling the idea of a platform to its fullest.
You know, I'm just really proud of the work that we've done here. You know, we've created a machine that empowers our users to think outside of the box.
The ideal customer feedback that I'd love to hear once M3 is really out in the world, it would be two-part. One would be that it's easy and even fun to use the printer, and two is that it produces the best carbon parts, maybe even the best additive manufactured parts that the customers experience. And I can't wait to see as it gets into more users' hands what people make. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. I'm Hunter Van Adelsberg and I'm a product manager here at Carbon. I'm excited to walk you through some of the M3's finer details today with my colleague Mike.
Thanks, Hunter. And hello everyone, I'm Mike Murillo and I'm a Senior Hardware Development Manager, and the M3 has been in my life the last couple of years. Let's get started by taking a look at the new design and size. Unlike the round shape of the M2, the M3 is designed as a square. This provided us with the needed space to pack even more innovation into the printer. When designing the M3, we did not just have the printer in mind, but instead, we're thinking about the whole Carbon production platform. In the future, we envision automation, and the square shape and rear accessibility with the M3 serve to enable this. Let's take a look at the first feature you notice, the door. Off the bat, you'll notice a few similarities to the M2. It has our signature amber color and foot-triggered sensor for hands-free accessibility. The door itself opens up vertically, just like the L1, aside from one key difference. It opens downward, allowing for lower ceiling height minimums. The design of the door also allows customers to have 360-degree views of their parts. The rear panel can be removed to allow access to conduct certain actions on the printer, again a feature designed for future aspirations of automation.
One feature I'm really excited for customers to experience is the new touchscreen on the M3. We incorporated a new fully interactive touchscreen with more options available at the printer so that operators could avoid bringing the laptop into the lab. For example, with M3 you'll be able to reorder print jobs directly on the touchscreen and view print history as well. Its new location in the top right corner eliminates resin dripping onto the screen when removing the build platform. The M3 also has new capabilities when it comes to notifications, which come through sight and sound. A light bar at the top of the printer can display different colors to indicate at-a-glance printer status. These colors also correspond with those shown on the touchscreen. It glows carbon purple when it's idle and transitions to green once it's printing. The bar will turn yellow when it's being serviced by a technician, and in the case of halts such as those caused by using the e-stop, the bar will turn red to show that the printer needs attention. It also features auditory feedback with adjustable volume, enabling sound to be adjusted to the noise of the environment.
Let's check out the new build platform design. While its surface area is the same as the M2, the design of the platform itself is more akin to the L1 build platform. This platform and build arm incorporates a new architecture that enables new levels of repeatability, precision, and consistency. The design is incredibly robust and is far more resilient to mechanical drifts of any kind, reducing the occurrence of print failures due to alignment or platform misseating. The platform can be held with one or two hands via the handle or the side grips. The print head has an integrated sensor panel to enable the force feedback you heard about earlier.
The M3 features next-generation oxygen-permeable optics, resulting in lower forces on parts. This enables a simpler print experience and broader design space, allowing customers to print new parts and geometries previously unprintable on other M-series printers. In addition, our test results show that this cassette results in smoother and more consistent surface finish on parts.
The M3's next generation cassette offers improved thermal management, and the printer has onboard infrared resin heaters and fan cooling systems. This results in better heat management and control during a print. For highly exothermic prints that are thermally limited or slow down to stay below a certain temperature, like dental and orthodontic models, we've seen throughput improvements up to 2.5 times what the M2 printer is capable of. For resins that require heat during a print like RPU 130, customers will no longer need additional hardware subscriptions for heated cassettes. Heat can reduce the viscosity of resins, which can enable faster print speeds and new resin chemistries. Lastly, this cassette allows for more consistent temperatures across the build area, enabling more consistent parts across the build and across prints. As you heard earlier, the M3 also introduces closed-loop control of force and temperature. Essentially, this means that the sensors on the build platform are measuring the forces on the print and adjusting the print plan in real time to reduce forces on parts throughout a print. By taking this data into account during a print and having the ability to make these adjustments, we can print parts that were previously unprintable on prior M-series printers. In addition, we can enable simplified support structures, print orientations, improved print yields, and better part consistency. Lastly, closed-loop control can enable us to print faster in specific situations where an M2 may use more conservative print parameters than are required.
So we've talked about how the next generation of DLS technology makes printing easier than ever on M3. We've also designed this printer to be easier to install, so that customers can install it without a Carbon field service engineer on site. This also means customers can relocate printers within their labs, production floors, without an FSE or mechanical realignment, giving them more flexibility and freedom. With the M3, mechanical alignment should stay more consistent over time, improving part consistency and print yields. In summary, all of these features, including a new cassette, ability to measure and adjust parameters during a print, and the ability to heat resin during a print, create a new generation of DLS technology.
And what's most exciting is that these features enable a new innovation curve and will deliver more significant future improvements through software updates that continue to take advantage of the capabilities the new hardware unlocks.
We hope you enjoyed taking a closer look at the M3 with us today.
We've heard from you all. We've listened and responded. The new M3 is smarter, smoother, faster, and simpler. In short, the next generation of DLS enables you to create more types of parts with a simpler printing experience. But wait, there's more. And I've always wanted to say that. What about bigger parts, or just a higher volume of the same part? Here's our CTO, Craig Carlson, with another exciting announcement.
Hi, I'm Craig Carlson, Chief Technology Officer here at Carbon. At Carbon, we're constantly working to build technology that continuously improves the range and quality of parts manufactured with our solutions. We also are constantly looking for ways to lower the cost of manufacturing those parts. As you've already heard today, M3 offers a number of improvements on all three of these dimensions. It prints a wider variety of geometries with better quality and often at higher speeds. But we have one more announcement today, the M3 Max. The M3 Max looks on the outside much like the new M3, but it has just over twice the build area on the inside. Let me show you. Here's the new M3 build platform. Here's the M3 Max build platform. Just a little over twice as big. This larger build area comes without the trade-offs you might be expecting. Using an all-new, high-powered, true 4K light engine, the pixels are the same size as on an M3. There are just more than twice as many of them. This means your parts will come out the same they do on an M3 Max as they do on an M3. But you can make twice as many of them in a print, or you can make much larger parts. Parts printed on the M3 Max will have the same great consistency across the build platform and the same exceptional surface finish as parts printed on the M3, with a higher throughput and better part economics at scale. Making a true 4K light engine with just as much printing power as our standard M3 wasn't easy. Fitting it and the larger cassette and platform in the same space wasn't easy either, but doing so makes the M3 Max a great printer. The next generation of DLS technology is smarter, smoother, faster, simpler, and now bigger. The M3 Max will be shipping to customers in Q4 of this year. Thank you.
Thanks, Craig. At Carbon, we create technology that continually provides our customers with greater advantages and improved capabilities both in real time and over time. Our next generation of DLS that was unveiled today does exactly that. The evolution of Carbon's idea to production platform could not be possible without our customers. We are constantly listening and collaborating to help solve real-world challenges. The example of real products that creators can develop with 3D printing are endless. From bike saddles, running shoes, automotive connectors, FDA-approved medical devices, and oral health aligners. Using additive manufacturing on new applications takes more than just printers and material, though. It requires a team of designers, engineers, and product strategists who really understand the possibilities of 3D printing. Next, you're going to hear from two customers who have hands-on experience with the newly unveiled M3 printer, Fast Radius and Becton Dickinson. Carbon's committed to our customer success in creating great products and delivering them to markets efficiently. Let's hear from two creators on their impressions and expectations of the M3 printer.
My name is Daniel Baker, and I lead our manufacturing technology team at Fast Radius.
My name is Jamie Cohn. I'm a senior engineer for an advanced prototyping department within BD. We really are at the forefront of medicine and technology. Sometimes our innovative ideas actually challenge and push the boundaries of what a technology is capable of.
At Fast Radius, we make a wide variety of parts, as well as from volumes of one prototypes and just development, all the way through to the high-scale production in the hundreds of thousands.
So far we have been excited to see the M3 prove to have that simpler print experience.
You know, those parts that were, call them historically extremely challenging, we took some of those parts and we were able to print them on that first time. From part file to print, we have reduced those cycles on those parts, 5x.
The M3 can be a time saver and help us to, like I said, pushing the boundaries of the printers rather than having to do those like troubleshooting steps.
We actually use the same geometries that we run on the M2s and the L1s, and we are seeing an improvement not only in build-to-build accuracy, but also location-specific accuracy on the platform.
Even from resin to resin, very consistent with just a much consistently smooth surface finish that looks like it was injection molded or, further post-processing beyond that.
Overall, it's a smoother, more consistent, more reliable surface finish, and you don't have as much of that unique artifacting as you would have before.
That was something that, attracted us to Carbon in the beginning, but I feel like it's gotten even better with the M3.
That's my favorite thing about the M3. So far I've told the team it's proven to be significantly faster across a wide variety of material families, part designs, part types. Roughly, I think we've done 40, 50 builds so far. I mean, we're looking on the low end, I think it was 18%, the high end was 30%.
There was even a day where, a really small EPU part just wasn't resolving correctly on the M2. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put it on the M3 and see what happens. And it was successful. So I was like, wow, okay, this is awesome. If I didn't have the M3, I'd have to go back, figure out what the next move would be, orientation change, add supports, whatever it may be.
I mean, I ran a SIL 30 build that, took about 19 hours on the M2. And it was cut to 10 hours on the M3. And it wasn't successful on the M2, and it was successful the first try on the M3. It was incredible.
All these new features have been really cool, and I'm loving it.
It's a beautiful machine. So just visually, aesthetically stunning, I think. I love the kind of the amber on both sides. You can see through no matter which angle you're looking at the printer.
Between that and the light color bar at the top of the printer, a much better way of monitoring the status of the printer all around different places within the lab. We were able to uncrate the printer, install it, and set it all up under an hour time, which I did not expect.
I think the most exciting thing for me in the future with the M3 is what new design potential you unlock. I'm excited to see what thing that used to be impossible that we can now make possible, push it a little further each time and actually make those possible now.
With this M3 printer, I'd even like to go back through all of our old opportunities and even parts we considered impossible for production in the past, and just see what the M3 can introduce and make possible.
And it has been great to see the hardware improvements, the print time, the efficiency, just all of the culmination of all of these small changes that Carbon's made on the M3 is really showing through to the part, which is awesome.
Now we know some of you are thinking about upgrading. Our subscription model makes this easy. One of the major benefits of the subscription is that you can be on the bleeding edge. We are making it easy for current M-Series subscribers to upgrade to either of these printers. Just reach out to your account manager to learn more. As you've seen today, the next generation of DLS printing brings many new innovative technologies to bear in the all-new M3 and M3 Max 3D printers. Thanks so much for joining us today for this very exciting announcement. Please contact us to learn more or to have any questions you may have answered. We're so excited for this technology to be out in the world, and we can't wait to see what you all make. Thank you.